Welcome back to News 13 this morning. Chris is here somewhere. There he is. We are with Tori Kubich this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. You are a contortionist. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what you're passionate about.
So I grew up dancing, and then when I was 21, I got into the art of contortion. So I studied Mongolian contortion, and it's an art form that is all about meditation and turning within. And I think we have all these external forces, you know, in our crazy world right now. So I think it's so important to kind of ignore all of that and turn in. So I gave a talk recently on thinking inside the box. And I think that's a really important concept, because when we're kids, we learn think outside the box. But turning in is super important, and then it helps us become more flexible internally and externally, mentally and physically.
So do you live here in Bay County?
I do not. I was down in Florida to give a TEDx talk, and I have a few other gigs and performances.
Awesome.
Yes.
So what is your main purpose of doing these performances and these TED Talks?
Yes, so I want to kind of show the world that contortion isn't just kind of a freak show, weird art form. It's much more. It's very meditative. It can help us in such a crazy, chaotic society. And it's kind of like yoga in a way, but also a lot of performance artists or anybody can kind of relate to it.
I was gonna say, would yoga be a good place kind of to start?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're, you know, super experienced in yoga, this is kind of a little bit different of approach, like a little bit different of a style of it, but similar, and not just kind of a freak show, weird performance art.
Right. And we were talking during the break that, you know, right now is a really stressful time for a lot of people with the pandemic and everything that's been going on. So what are some ways that maybe people can cope with things when they're stressed? Is that what you are specializing in?
Exactly. So I do stretch. I kind of do crazy positions, sit on my head, headstands, handstands, balance.
I do it by accident sometimes.
Exactly. But instead of, it's not just about that. I really focus on the breath. And one of the very first things contortionists, when they start as kids, I started as an adult, and I was still able to find the inner peace, but kids, when they begin, the first thing they learn is how to breathe. And we forget that. Adults, we just take it for granted, and it's something we should relearn. And to do that, I'd like to do a little meditation exercise. If you want me to kind of go ahead and do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So most meditation coaches, they'll have you think of a beach, a waterfall, beautiful beach like you have, or it's a calm place.
Yeah.
But I like to channel the opposite. So I want you to think of the last time you were either uncomfortable, apprehensive, anxious, or in excruciating pain.
Dentist comes to mind.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So when you're in that dentist chair, how does your body react? Are you like, do you freeze up? I know my mom, she hates the dentist. It's like it's her least favorite place, and she freaks out. She has panic attacks all the time. And I try to get her to relax and relax. Focus on individually which body part holds the most tension. So, you know, do your shoulders raise? Is your clavicle tight? Are your fists kind of like, are your nails digging into your skin?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or like, yeah, exactly. So instead of like you're doing this and I'm trying to meditate, think of that beach, but I can't because it's too scary and painful. You know, think of that where you're holding the tension. So I'm holding it right here. So just the very specific spot, holding that tension, and then breathe in through that tension. So try to really relax just the one body part. Try to forget about everything else. Focus on the one body part. Let it go. Then maybe squeeze it again, really, really tight, and then just let it go. So you want to play with that back and forth.
Okay.
And then your mind really focuses on that, and it forgets about everything else, and then you can start to finally relax.
Yeah.
And that's what turning in feels like.
And that sounds like a great exercise. I think a lot of us could use on the daily. So if they want to hear more from you, what is the best way to maybe find where you're at to get more information about everything?
So you can probably follow me on Instagram, and then I have my website, and you can reach out, send an email, or kind of scroll through and see what I do. Not just performances, but talks, writing, a little bit of coaching as well. So my Instagram is Contorishan. So it's my name in the middle of the word.
Very creative. I like it. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for being
Appreciate that, yeah.
in studio with us this morning.
Having me.
That we could all use
a little bit of calmness,
exercises.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, you can find her on Instagram, like she said, and we'll have more on that on our website, mypanhandle.com.